Papa Bio as the Indian news. Indian news always the best news in town. Open and politics and governance and seven entertainment there. The Indian news also I want when it will be. You has to subscribe to your channel. No, that be so no what. And they will comment about and similar. Yebedi hu komani abobo hu ni aka wan sempen so de aba na yetimi so akenkan de akere atifo. Yo nsem bi asi e wo man Ghana mu na wonim se politics de enye MPP na ye NDC ene wana eka ho bio na abepese wobeti nsem ni ye ba ye betimi abobo hu kakra na won so wo de comment so atwase ne akenkan ama wo yentie nsem emra na before that no haso be subscribe to your channel no na won saka all other relevant political news are fa Ghana ya memuo ene ya ban ene atiate ne niema esisi ewo Ghana hamu no ebi so na also watimi enya nsem no ntiase de ye ene de bro subscribe to your channel like na won sabe ka all other relevant news mem pese be ma no be kan nsem ne betie free so de mpenifo kase ka community no kwakwo nim no yintie nsem imresisi a ma refi comment no so
this the bureaucracy at our ports. They say the containers are missing. Mr. Speaker, it is true that when these containers come, there is some connivance with some customs officials and they sell these containers, these cables that ECG needs after the supplier has been paid. They sell the container and then people resell back to ECG. Are we pretending we don't know? Instead of us to pay attention and kill the rots, then we come here, then MPP, NDC, so now they say, oh, maybe it's happening on the MPP, it's happening on the NDC. No. An honorable minister, I know what you can do. If we can give you support to do it, you must adopt a posture, a non-partisan posture, and tackle the rots. But if we all want to approach it, MPP, NDC, Mr. Speaker, it will remain. NDC will spend 4 years, 16 years, 20 years. The same thing will be there. They will come into opposition, and the same thing would arise again. Then the perpetrators will be there in the system. Mr. Speaker, today, Ghanaian businesses cannot sleep because there's a new government, whereas foreign businesses are surviving because their ambassadors will be protecting their businesses. So Ghanaian businesses who did business in MPP time are at risk, whereas foreign companies are surviving because we are quick to say this business is a pro-MPP, so it should die. What are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to ourselves? Mr. Speaker, I know the minister will come and say, oh, ECG has a huge bill. There is debt. Now who calls them? Us, as a political class. When there are issues, we don't identify the issue and say, this one is a national issue. Let's kill it. We want to play partisan football with it. It comes back to haunt us. How many people pay bills in Ghana? ECG. All the power that we produce. Mr. Speaker, let me hazard a guess. I can say, not on authority, that less than 20% of consumers pay. A lot of factories consume electricity, they don't pay. The prepaid is adjusted all over. At the end of the day, it becomes the debt of the state. These are things that if the minister comes and says, look, I am embarking on serious reforms, I will go all out to back him. Because if the nation fails, it affects all of us. And for MPP, NDC, we shouldn't be too comfortable with this democracy. With this day social media, the youths, they are so impatient that if we continue to play this game, they will be watching. We may be surprised. Let's be careful. Let us be careful as a political class. The issue at stake is scandalous, it's serious, it's not MPP, NDC matter. All these public institutions, and sometimes some of the appointees of the previous government, you see them even saying that they are professionals. They were not MPP. Now they come here and then they are dining with you. You're also happy. When you lose power, they turn around and they do this and that and that. And then they are hitting our heads and we are here shouting. No. The public system, the public service structure, those SOEs, that government invests so much. Every now and then, we have bureaucracies being established by law and the state will give money. Look at the initiative, this Gold Board initiative. For all you know, government means well. But trust me, if in the enactment, we don't put in place the support systems, people will take the money and say, but I helped the NDC to come to power. He will even go and buy the gold, and you cannot even prosecute. I invested in Winneba. I bought taxes for my people. The person is working, he's not paying. You can't prosecute. You can't even then have to pay. What is going on in the country? Because politics. We know. We set up initiatives where we are helping our people. We give them the loans. Kufuor's Maslock. People didn't pay. Rawlings's intervention program, poverty alleviation, they didn't pay. When Rawlings lost, Atamus lost, and Kufuor came, all the attempt to prosecute those people who didn't pay the loan, they said because they were NDC. When Kufuor also came and they took the loan and they didn't pay, and Atamus was prosecuting, they said, I'm MPP. And it's been going on, and we see saying the national debts. All these social interventions that are going down the drain, it's become consumption, not investment. So as a political class, let's wake up. Let's get more serious. Tackle the issues. $700 million is not cheap money. Go to ECG. Those companies are chasing ECG, and now because the minister is enforcing the cash waterfall, they say they get only 40 million cedis, and the 40 million cedis is not even enough to pay salary. Those officers at ECG, those directors, they are the ones who should hold them to account and stop this political football we play. And then we come and we say it was MPP time. Honorable member who brought the statement up, with the greatest respect to you, I do not think an answer will be in a parliamentary inquiry. With the greatest respect to you. And honorable minister, I do not think an answer to the problem is a political inquiry. Hold the bull by the horn. And I, Kwamena, will support you because I've been there. In fact, I've seen a lot of the rot in our public service system. I've seen a lot of the rot in the SOEs, but they take advantage of us as politicians. They mess up and they know that, the politicians will make noise. Then they are still chopping and knocking the states. You and I know. The managing director of ECG, the director of procurement, must be seen to be telling us why, as a director of procurement, he will issue a contract, and then the contract is that deliver at the port, bring bill of lading, and ask for payment without even having access to it. And then a minister is to take a blame. A minister must not take a blame on this matter. It shouldn't be a political partisan matter, but it's a system failure which we have the capacity, the authority to deal with. I shall rest my case, Mr. Speaker. If we are serious, this is the day. And Minister, I crave your indulgence to do what is right for legacy purpose. For your image. And I'm sure you will live up to that day.
Thank you very much. Yes, majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, I'll let the minister come before me.
You want it that way?
Yeah.
I thought he will wrap up.
No.
Very well.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, as Minister for Energy and Green Transition, currently, my vision is simple. I want all the 1,346 containers accounted for. 1,346 containers. Whatever it takes, I'll bring those containers to where they ought to be. Mr. Speaker, let me set the record straight. And if my good friend, Professor, will listen to me, there's not been any inconsistency. At the transition committee, Honorable Yarga was there. They gave us a figure of 3,000. Then they told us it had incurred demurrage of 1.5 billion. I was sworn into office on the 17th. On the 24th, I visited the harbour. At the harbour, I was told the containers were 2,500. That is what aroused my suspicion. I didn't say at the harbour that the containers are 2,500. I couldn't have counted 2,500 containers instantaneously. And so from 24th, I went to brief the president on 27th. And by 31st, I had established this committee. There was media coverage. And we took Professor Afenyo. He's a chartered procurement expert. The report was submitted just this week. It was during the presentation of the report that the committee told me that contrary to the figures they were giving you, over 1,300 containers cannot be accounted for. These are the facts and nothing but the facts. Let's look at these are the facts. So those who are on social media and trying to play the political game, let me assure you, it will not deter me. Mr. Speaker, I just came from home. We've gone to 4 warehouses. 2 of them are factories. And what they've been doing over the years is that they buy these containers with brand new aluminum cables and then melt them into aluminum rods and export them. Today, I encourage everybody to watch the television sets. You will see the cables, brand new cables, being put into the furnace, being melted and converted to rods. Mr. Speaker, yesterday, when President Mahama called me, his message was simple. Jinapo, you have my full backing, go the full throttle. And that is exactly what we are doing. We've already arrested some Chinese nationals. We are on the trail of some Indian nationals who have bolted. But you know, this is a house of record. And so I'm being very, very cautious. I've received a lot of briefing. And I'm getting to know those who are behind it. This has been going on for years. I will stop that and it will stop right now. But Mr. Speaker, it's not just going to stop. We shall retrieve the containers of the materials. We shall prosecute the perpetrators, and we will prosecute the perpetrators, and we will sell the rods to recover the cost. Mr. Speaker, people are complaining that at the distribution level, the power system is not stable. It is because you buy the materials and you don't use them. They end up somewhere other than their intended purpose.
You hold on. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the minister is not out of order. If it pleases him, I'm just coming in with point of information. Mr. Speaker, respectfully, it must be for the records that we managed to order that under a new dispensation, all contract to be awarded by ECG should be every